such a great name. It really is. It just rolls off the tongue immediately. We love the Super Goobers. But yeah, we have some returning faces. We have some great players, and we have some. I honestly say, regardless of how much I hate Dorado, and I know everyone knows that I have this dislike of Dorado for many years, but they are one of our premier orgs. They've been around for so long. They've won so many chips, and they are really good. I have to hate them, but I am excited to see this new roster because there's some new faces jumping into this dog roster, and I'm going to keep calling them dog just for mean purposes. But I do love the way that they continuously like bring in new players, and we see them immediately adapt to that dog style of just getting ruthless solo kills, constantly looking to put pressure on. And consider this my first time seeing this new roster, I'm really hoping they stick to that Dorado style that we've seen previously from them. What do you think?
I feel like Dorado Gaming has been the villain of amateur esports for the longest time. But yeah, I feel like Dorado, you always see them play hard early, and it's always just violent matches with Dorado Gaming. And I'm expecting the same thing. I can't believe that this could be any different. I think XG versus Dorado is going to make it exceptionally kill hungry, especially I feel like both these teams play very early game heavy. I could be wrong in the past XG has. Not super sure about Super Goobers, though.
Super Goobers have been one of those teams that have jumped in and kind of been like XG's been around for a while. They are another one of our premier orgs, and they have been in and around good places. Like they've reached heights, but they haven't quite encapsulated what Dorado did. I think they won 3 of 4 leagues one year. So the domination has always been there for Dog. So it's been like TSM C9 during the TSM era with Bjergsen. It's Dog has always been that org. They also have a lot more teams than some of the other orgs do, but that's neither here nor there. They do have that caliber going into XG. So XG is still kind of like that CLG or C9 reach up to that TSM slot. And well, we all know what happened to TSM Baylife, right?
TSM, a team that has 100% done well in the last few years. 100%.
I'm just saying,
They're on such a tear.
Yeah, they fell apart. So there always is that chance that we could see the same coming from Dog, that they could just like fall off of grace really quickly and then kind of fade into it. As not a lot of players will keep signing up for teams that aren't winning. You want to be on a winning roster. You want to be one of the best. You want to continue to rise up, and you don't want to be a middle pack team. You don't want to be joining anything other than FlyQuest, C9, these great NA orgs. This is what XG and Dog are at the moment, and they continue to build good rosters. They continue to do that. But if they start losing, less people will be incentivized. And we've even had people on the broadcast before that are ex-Dorados speaking about how it was good to play for them, but that one split afterwards, they're like, I need to go somewhere else. I need to reach those bigger heights. So it is something that we're constantly going to look at. But more importantly, drafting is the thing we have to talk about right now, because we're going to be jumping into draft very quickly. Patches will come and go, and you will get updates on the TAD show, as you always do, from your favorite caster, Sater, as I do try to give little tidbits about the future of the meta and what I see things kind of leaning into. And I'm expecting, and I really hope to see no Azir, no Talia, and I'm really hoping to see some Senna. I really think Senna is in a really, really good spot right now. I think that static Shiv build is absolutely exceptional, as we do have a 4-5-6-5-9 coming through for both teams here. I've got to figure out what that is.
I do love 4-5-6-5-9. It is my favorite record from both these teams. Do you think right now? I believe you're a Senna ADC, a Senna ADC connoisseur, correct? Not Senna fasting Senna.
Really, I'm kind of counter metaing it a little bit because I like to play Sivir at the moment, which is another one of those ADCs that I do think is very, very strong. I do think Sivir is going to rise in popularity across the board. It's just that when I see a Senna, I know I can play Sivir because Sivir's acts are so based on Q. So it's going to be very, very difficult for a Senna to play into a Sivir because I will outscale, I will push those waves, and I will make static Shiv a little bit harder for you, because static Shiv helps with Senna's wave clear, helps you stay alive in the lane, stops you getting pushed in. Sivir says, no, I don't care, I'm going for this one. But a Seraphine first pick is an interesting one coming through when you have still Varus, even though it's nerfed. It's still seeing a lot of popularity as a first pick, and is this Conqueror?
It's interesting. Seraphine, I feel like we haven't seen come out on broadcast yet, on at least our side of Vanquisher. I haven't seen Seraphine much at all on the Rift lately. Matched by a Jinx Thresh, which I feel like is just a very common combo we're seeing. It's great first duo in that bot lane. How do you think that Seraphine's going to stay in the bot lane? Do you think it's going to go to mid lane? What are we feeling from the Seraphine right now? Xin Zhao!
Yes, it's still popular. Get over it. Like, it's...
Yeah, but it's I'm going to get excited every time it's Xin Zhao. Xin Zhao's a phenomenal pick every meta, every patch, every time.
I think you need to sort your head out, but we are going to see an Aatrox coming through as well. So Xin Zhao, Aatrox, nice little combo to work together. They both work really well in close kind of quarters. Seraphine likes to pull people in with that ult. So far that layering coming through very, very well here. On the other side, Trundle is an okay pick. I'm going to ask you about that pick now in a couple of seconds, because you can explain that Trundle into Xin Zhao or Trundle in general as a jungler, because I think that might be where it's going to go. But I do have to ask first when we're going into this one. We're not seeing a lot of control coming through in those first couple of picks. It could be Seraphine mid. I'm going to say it's ADC, but those control mages that we want to see, they're not being taken away. Annie's going to be taken away, but Orianna's still available. Azir, although nerfed, still available. Talia's still available. Why is the mid lane meta gone? Just disappeared.
I'm curious what the mid lane meta spot is right now. I do think an Orianna could be an interesting pickup for Dorado Gaming if they haven't already locked in an ADC. I think it depends what those last couple of picks are. However, I feel like Orianna is still strong. I don't really know what XG is going to go for their mid lane control mages. Right now, XG, they have nothing when it comes to AP damage. And I think they are desperately needing something to kind of round out the damage comp. I'm hoping for maybe a carry. Azir coming out. You are not happy about that at all. I definitely would have rather an Orianna over an Azir.
I still think Orianna will be picked up by XG. I think it's still one of those clean, easy to play control mages. Karma's a strange one. I'm already feeling the Karma pick here with the Seraphine. So the Karma
Seraphine bot?
It's so AP heavy, right? Like
I hate
relying
that.
on Aatrox here. Yeah, you're relying on Aatrox here to there's the Ori to be good. So like Azir, decent damage, long kind of fight timing's great. But like Karma Seraphine's like this burst of CC that you need to get all your damage in. Azir can follow with an ult, but your follow-up damage is Aatrox Xin Zhao, which is like slower ramping. Like they take a while conqueror based, and then you're going up against Jinx, Orianna, Urgot. Urgot wants to pick a target. Jinx wants one single reset and has Thresh safety with lanterns. Orianna can disrupt the team fight very quickly with that. It just feels like Dog have crafted something that they've tried and played, while XG have went, we're comfortable with everything we've played into you. Does that make sense?
XG to me feels like a comp that is, once again, and I feel like this has worked every time in Vanquisher. You pick a comp you're comfortable with, something that is easy to execute, that has one goal in mind, and you win games because you're not focusing on 1,000 different things at once. And that's what XG has, right? You're looking for that kill to get Jinx excited, and then you peel for Jinx. That's what we kind of have going on with XG. You have your ways of doing that. You have your Urgot ults, you have your Thresh catches, you have your pillars and your slows out of the Trundle. It's a very well-crafted comp, in my opinion, from XG. Dorado Gaming, I'm not really sure what we're looking for here. Like, I think your enchanters are good for Xin Zhao. Like I said, Xin Zhao player, I'm loving having a Karma or a Seraphine on my team. But together in the bot lane, it just feels like it's going to lack damage. I guess you're trying to, neutralize that lane, maybe get some poke damage, but even if you neutralize that bot lane, Jinx is still happy to just scale, right?
Yeah,
I don't know where the damage is going to come from, especially as we get later into the game. I feel like Dorado Gaming comp late game is a lot harder as well. I feel like it's really hard.
It's a comp that's hard to kill. Just thinking of how much healing, shielding it has, it's a comp that's hard to kill. But like that's something that's easily counterable by cheap items. Like
Bramble Vest goes crazy.
Bramble Vest, Grievous Wounds, across any of them, it's 800 gold. No matter which one you're going for, it is 800 gold. So that counters the Seraphine for her heals, and then all the Conquerors coming through. And then if someone wants to go for a Serpent's Fang, that eliminates Karma and Seraphine shielding on top of Xin Zhao's Eclipse shielding if he goes for that. Aatrox is going to be cut down from the Conqueror. It just feels like the problems you're going to have against Dog can be solved with items, which is something you never want as a team. You don't want to be going into something like we get countered by a Bramble Vest.
My thing is, none of them I don't think apply Serpent's Fang all that exceptionally is on XG. Is there any other alternatives
on
you'd see
Thresh,
for
why
the
not?
shield break?
Couple of auto attacks, couple of whips. Just pew, pew, pew.
I don't think I've ever seen a Serpent's Fang on
You
Thresh
have not seen Brawl,
in
my
my
friend.
life.
Brawl is a lot of fun with Thresh. No, but seriously, like it was just like a shot in the dark that Serpent's Fang is
For
an
sure.
item
No,
that
no,
could
I
work
agree.
into
I
this.
agree. If they can get something that's shield
Dorado,
break
maybe?
heavy. Does Shadow Flame still do anything to shields, or is that like long gone? Am I
No,
way in the
it's
past?
a crit-based thing now. Don't worry about Shadow Flame.
Do they have
Shadow
any
Flame's-
AP item that's good against shields yet? Or am I? Damn, we need that.
No,
That's what we need in
don't
League.
say we need that. No,
That's
use
what
have
we need in
Sonya's.
League.
Use have percentage increase on Rabadon's death cap. You have immediate refundal on level up of mana. You have a Rod of Ages. Every single mage player, look at me right now and tell me it's not broken. Tell me the items you can build are not broken. Exactly. Stop.
The biggest thing XG has in their pocket, even with the healing and shielding, is Subjugate's going to still rip through Aatrox.
Oh yeah.
And Zin.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter. You throw Subjugate on anyone. It doesn't matter how much shielding and healing you're getting. Subjugate will annihilate you.
Yeah, as we do have a quick look across the summoners. Yeah, double Conqueror, lethal tempo, double airy bot lane. Everything's going normal there. Well, we do have press the attack coming out from the Urgot. Wants to get a little bit aggressive in that lane. Trundle gonna have a very good time on those side lanes. I don't think there's actually an answer bar Azir, but Trundle's known for saying, no, I'm going to kill you anyway, and just sprinting someone down. So
Trundle
Phoenix is gonna go check.
immediately going in onto Worm Jones here. We're going to get that slow up. Blazing Cake throwing the orb. A lot of damage coming through. Someone's going to go down. Who's it going to be? It's going to be First Blood to Trundle, followed by an Azir kill. Tough Daddy picking up one. And now Kibbles on top of Blazing Cake. It is a slaughterhouse already. Blazing Cake going to go down. That's a double kill for Tough Daddy right off the bat. We're still level 1 here. We said it was going to be a bloodbath. Here we go.
Yeah, so I actually really respect Orianna for not burning the flash. Absolutely adore that. But on the other side, Azir going into a start like that, like we should see one single push, take one wave, just go back, just absolutely dominate through Wallet alone in that mid lane. Maybe stick around for Lost Chapter. We'll see what they want to go for, but that is such an astronomical start for an Azir when you are so defensive in wanting to get your items. So I really want to see what the plan is. Nashers, or are we going to go towards one of the other items? But they want to get aggressive onto this Karma immediately.
They're going right for it. Cleanse, no cleanse in the bot lane at all, which is a little surprising to me. I'm shocked that we went for a level 1 engagement on XG and we didn't bring Improvise with us.
I think it was just the classic. There's a Thresh hook missing. The classic. Let's go in, see if they're there, get a ward. That's all they really want to go for. That's how you keep it simple, keep it clean. And then as soon as they hit, I think Trundle went, I can kill this. And Blazing Cake was like, oh yeah, I can come over and shield. And then it was like getting way too close. And then as soon as Trundle went around the corner, Aatrox was there. That's when it shifted just a little bit. Once that little bit of CC came through from the Aatrox, it was immediately like, oh, I'm dead here. They did get one Blazing, did get followed up from Kibbles. So it was a great follow from Kibbles to come all the way up there, like immediately seeing there was a fight, start hovering it. I'll get back to lane regardless. I'm a Karma. I don't need to be there. We can give up a wave. But yeah, good calls and good communication from Dog for the call. But I am a little bit worried now that the jungle pathing is going to be a little bit strange for Jin Zhao. It looks like they're doing really well on timing. They're just behind by a Campus Trundles on their last, and Jin Zhao is just now finishing Grump. So Trundle a little bit ahead.
Jin actually going to skip that blue buff, and he looks like he's going to be looking for an engagement right away on Rove. However, if Trundle gets to this fight, it's going to be really rough for Dorado Gaming. He's already on his way there. There's going to be a lot of damage coming out. The 3's Talon Strike going to go through. There's Winds becomes Lightning. Can he finish the job? Flashes from everyone. He's going to flash forward. He does find the kill. They're going to get their feet a ward from a Worm Jones. Annihilated by Trundle. Trundle just such a good pick into Zinza. The flash forward from Femi. Not going to find anything on it.
Yeah, the flash was a little bit egregious, but it is a kill over to Trundle once again. It is Feats of Warfare over for Dog, so they'll be happy enough with that one overall.
Oh, a death sentence?
Taking damage. Okay, we have got confirmation that it is Phoenix from Phoenix Flare, which I think I said right and Romeo said wrong, so we're going
to... Oh, of course. Not surprising at all. I said Fenny.
I'm going to flame that guy real quick. Just Romeo, you just need to learn how to read.
Look, I'm thinking like old school game tags. Fenny X Flame. Look, that makes it. Fenny X Flare. That makes sense.
No, it's Phoenix.
Yeah, okay.
But regardless, well, as we go back to what happened in the top side, we did see Trundle actually get that Scuttle Crab as well. So they finished a full clear and Scuttle Crab, looking to double Scuttle now, possibly off of this one, as Worm Jones has to return for that blue buff. So a little bit of a timing advantage here if Trundle chooses to take it, but it looks like they're not, and they're actually not going to go for the double Scuttle and finish off their Gromp instead, which does maybe open up a gank in the spot side, but I believe it's warded. Fresh Lantern is there.
He hasn't stepped over a ward yet. There's going to be the Lantern forward, but we're not going to find anything but a waste of time from Phoenix.
Yeah, the flash also coming through from Improvise is very sad. Very sad. We'll have to talk about that one at some stage in the future, but it is going to be Trundle spotting out that the Scuttle Crab is now gone, heading back into the jungle, and Jin Zhao gets bought some time. I know it's a strange thing to say, but when something like that happens and you don't burn anything from it, you don't get rid of any of the flashes, you don't apply any pressure in the lane, you don't get them anything, it buys that Jin Zhao time to get back to clearing their jungle and gives them time to go, where do I want to go from this one? Do I want to go towards that top side? Do I want to look towards Drake's? I know I have some vision in the area. It gives Jin Zhao time, and I think the biggest thing for Phoenix to be looking at is do not give the Jin Zhao time, do not let them breed, constantly be on them at all times. And they've let us slip just a little bit with that gank.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially considering Trundle had that one camp advantage over Xin. He was because of Zin's gank onto Robe, which didn't come of anything due to Phoenix being there for that counter gank immediately after. They did get Feats of Warfare, which I suppose is nice for Dorado Gaming off that play, but now things are much more even across that jungle. We do have Trundle, though. He has that kill advantage, at least. He has over Xin. Improvise going to be looking for an angle here on Tough Daddy. A very hard angle to find on an Azir. Azir going to dash forward. We have Xin Zhao coming to help start this fight in a bigger way. Worm Jones going to go forward, but the flash from Tough Daddy's there a little bit too late to save the flash. Still, though, nothing going to happen off that roam timer.
No, but it is a burn flash. Like that's still something. It's something that can be played with by Blazing Cake. It's an ult for a flash. It's decent work. And you do like to see a trash moving around the map. They will clear out that ward as well that was dropped by Improvise. So a little bit more gold heading in over to Worm Jones. But we do see the recall now coming through.
Oh, a huge fight. There's a stun up right now on that Karma. Improvise losing a lot of health. Worm Jones coming. We could maybe see a tower dive here. We're seeing the pieces laid in place. Xin sitting in that bush. Is he going to find Improvise? Improvise seeing there's going to be the one becomes lightning. The audacious charge in, but the hook goes through. He finds Improvise. Knock up, and it's going to be a kill over to the Karma and a kill over to the Xin Zhao off of a great tower dive. Phoenix, though, here looking for anything to clean up. A Tough Daddy going to say, no, you go right back to your jungle.
Yes, the Shuriman poke sends Trundle back into that jungle, and I just feel like Kartana's flash was a little bit too out of the range of the tower. Just stay in there, keep the Jin Zhao in that range, make him force that kill. Bought themselves a little bit of time in terms of damage away from the bot side, but you just kept Jin Zhao one more step in, maybe one more auto attack, we would have seen that kill get transferred back over. But Worm Jones getting a lot more done on the map right now, 2-2-2. But that Drake now being started, Phoenix. It's getting pinged. They know that Phoenix is on it. It is being pulled out. Prio is there for mid and bot. This should be an easy enough take, but ults are nearly available here for the Seraphine. So maybe, just maybe, they got 6.
The level 6s are there. It doesn't look like they're willing to make the dangerous play. That Inferno Drake going to be swiped up from XG. Now invading Xin Zhao's jungle, trying to get some Raptors. Maybe thinking Xin Zhao is on the other side of the map because they weren't re-engaged on. However, it looks like he's been spotted out. We have Karma rotating up, Seraphine rotating up. Karma gonna find him right here as the red buff is finished from Worm Jones. Can they find the kill on Phoenix? The root gonna go through. Wind becomes lightning. We're gonna see Worm Jones, audacious charge in, the 3 Talon strike starting up. Can he find the 3rd strike? He's not gonna be able to, but in this river, a huge fight breaking out. Flash gonna go through, still no ultimate coming from that Seraphine. No encore coming out. We did see the Subjugate come out. We've seen Orianna pop that Shockwave. A lot of ultimates down for XG.
Yeah, the pro comps is coming back to what we said in the draft, that we did feel a little more comfortable with the XG draft. It will be something I think we'd all be more comfortable playing in, apart from you because you're a Jin Zhao main. But it is something that we feel is a little more comfortable. But that moment right there, Seraphine did choose to fire the encore and it hit 1 or 2 members. That could have spelled disaster for them. But they do get prio on these grubs. They will get their 2nd mark. into the next feat as they will land the hook on the Worm Jones. The flip
There's going to be the
comes
flip
through.
on the ZZ trying to get away, but that pillar going to knock him up. He's going to go into the demonic form. Phoenix almost down. There's going to be a super missile. Not going to find anything, but Worm Jones able to find Phoenix Flare. Worm Jones trying to audacious charge in, forces the flash out of Improvise. Rover going to get hit with the winds, become lightning, but no audacious charge up from Worm Jones. Tough Daddy over there going to be sending Improvise flying into his teammates as all 5 of them are able to at least claim the Thresh and the Trundle.
And the last grub, but the swap coming through now from the top side to bot. Yeah, it's going to be Aatrox TP, and as Painting DL did actually TP to the top side to try to join that fight. So we're going to see Aatrox swap. We're going to see the call come through to not swap coming. There's going to be no swap coming from XG. They're going to stick to standard laning here, while it looks like Dorado want to go to Australia. But as we see here, Improvise does land a great hook on the Jin Zhao, buys them some time. But the flip coming through here, they just don't have enough damage to finish off Z. And Z just gets that healing back, stays healthy. And as soon as that happens, you see the last auto from the Grub finishes off Trundle. If Trundle had walked left, he would have lived. But instead, he chose to go right, and that Grub said, well, you tried to kill my friends, I'm going to finish you off.
I think another thing that's crazy is just seeing how much healing comes out from that Aatrox. Again, something that will probably be countered later once we start seeing the heal cut and maybe the shield break go through. But just so much healing from World Ender. That ultimate is insane early.
Early, it's insane late. Those autos alone will fully heal an Aatrox in the right scenario. But look, at the moment, I think Rover's going to be in a world of hurt. No longer has that ignite on that top side. 5 assists have went over to the Aatrox, although there's no kills, and it's even enough on that top side. It is, without that ignite, you lose so much kill pressure as that Urgot, and you just have to play so much safer in these scenarios, because Aatrox likes to get those short trades and get some damage down and then dip out with that with the dash. It's going to be a very, very tough situation now, but Improvise could improvise something in this lane.
He's looking to try to get into those top bushes, maybe find a death sentence, help Rove get enough damage out for the Fear Beyond Death. But it looks like Aatrox is going to be hiding back into that jungle, getting some defensive vision up. Improvise, really, he's found a crafty angle here. I know if I'm Z, I'm not expecting anything happening here. I'm expecting that he's going to come over the wall any moment now, but Rover playing towards that bottom side of the lane. Z not really going close to that pit. It's a lot of time loss right now from Improvise.
Yeah, and look how far back Jinx is in that lane right now. Jinx is standing so far back, just terrified of what could be a...
Oh, and here's Femi Flame. It is going to be a 3. There's going to be the pillar that goes up, and there's Fear Beyond Death. But it just feels like so much resources for a single kill.
Sometimes you gotta send things. You gotta overplay these things. You just gotta give everything to try get something somewhere. That's what is sometimes important here. And look, they get the kill, they get some pressure for that Urgot in that top side. That's that Black Cleaver now completed as well, so Urgot's going to feel a little bit better in that lane overall. And Improvise in here, he's going to Hex Flash forward. Tough Daddy doesn't dodge.
Death sentence goes through, Shockwave going to come up, but he's able to avoid it as Worm Jones comes in. That was crazy. That is some crazy mechanics from Aatrox, but he's not out of it just yet. The death sentence flashes away, and no one going to die in that engagement.
That was probably one of the best plays we've seen in a while in Vanquisher where no one dies. Like, everything about that flowed so beautifully and nothing happened. It was like great hook into great flays, shockwave this, Azir ult that, flash away from... everything was beautiful and just nothing happened. Like, nothing mattered in that moment. It's just everyone burns everything. You may as well have stood there and looked at each other and burned your stuff.
I'm shocked Tough Daddy was able to pull off that, though. That was crazy, man.
They both just dodged the exact same ult and then looked at each other. Look, I'll poke you. Hey, I'll poke you. This was the good one as well from Improvise. Really, really good hook timing.
Meanwhile, we're right into a fight. Death sentence barely going to miss. Subjugate has gone through. Encore being held till next game. Have we seen an Encore yet? I don't think so. Improvise is going to be going through. There is a chance here that we see something coming to Seraphine. Root's going to be going through. There's the Encore we've been waiting for. Worm Jones going to be jumping onto that Jinx. Phoenix going to get killed from Tough Daddy there. Super Mega Death Rocket going so far off center here. I feel like there was just that, whereas the mid fight was just a lot of great plays, that just felt like a lot of misplays.
Tana just missed a rocket, just straight missed that one as Robert has got a solo kill on the top side. But we go back to Dog now getting the Drake from that. There was a lot of back and forth there, and there was a lot of great work to burn everything from Worm Jones, but Phoenix does die on the other side of things. And Blazing, thinking
Oh, a huge shockwave. It doesn't do anything, but it was a 3-man shockwave.
It was pretty. Sometimes aesthetics alone is all that matters. Sometimes aesthetics alone. Watch the... Oh, we have the 1v1. Okay. So Rover...
I thought we were getting the replay of the shockwave for some reason.
No. Don't worry about it. Rover... Does he just guess this with a Q? Is that what happens here? Oh, no. Okay, so he actually cancels the back. It's completely his own fault. He felt like he might have been able to win this one. He does land a good start, but Rover just probably gets shield back. Yeah, it's the Ignite. The Ignite, that's all it is. This is what I was saying. Once you have the Ignite, it's a lot easier for the Urgot to be able to win that lane. And Aatrox just really showing a lack of respect there to what is a simple summoner. Without that, yeah, maybe there's a chance you out-heal that threshold for the ult. Yes, but other than that, it was just very, very disrespectful. But they are going to swap the lanes around now. They're going to bring Seraphine and Karma up to assist in getting this Rift Herald, which still leaves open the opportunity for one of the teams to, on the next Drake, finish off that feat, which is what we're really looking to do, while we aren't seeing no response from XG on this, which is interesting with how focused they've been on things before. They've really wanted to get these objectives, right?
Oh, they do find the bot turret in the 1v2 Aatrox matchup, which is going to give them that first turret feat, which means this next dragon is Boots.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people are going to be wondering why casters harp on about this so much. Because Boots, they're good and they give that little bit of a boost, and late game they're really important, but for the start of it, they're not that incredible as this shouldn't.
Phoenix coming through. There's going to be the pillar. Encore going to go through as the TP comes. Worm Jones here as well. Z World Ender is popped. Oh, a flash away. Phoenix, that slow could have got him killed. Is going to be able to flash out of harm's way as Z has to be a little sad, right? Not even backing. He's just sitting in the bush. Probably a couple tears rolling down his face right now.
Yeah, knowing I see a tear emote appear. Maybe. Just maybe. But as I was saying before, why casters go on about it so much, it gives casters and viewers a chance to see what the tempo is. Usually the team with the better tempo is getting those boots first. So it's our first indication of how the teams are going. Gold is good. Gold is great, but sometimes items, they have different gold values, etc. So it's nice, but Z
got in between Improvise and Rover. Doesn't have a chance to go anywhere. No World Enders up. I don't even think the box needed to be placed there. At that point, you have the kill confirmed on Z. He's got no flash, no TP, no ultimate, nothing for him.
Do you not think that is the worst named ability in League?
Box?
The box.
Like, you have Death Sentence, Dark Passage, Flay, you have all this cool stuff. Damnation is a passive, and then Box. Just the Box.
No, Death Sentence has two names.
Death Sentence and Deadly Leap?
Yeah, so Deadly Leap is the second part of it. So, like, both of those names are just brilliant. And then it's just like, oh, what's his ult? Like, imagine naming all of those abilities and going, oh my god, what's his ultimate ability called? And you go, the Box.
The best part is it's not even a box. It's got 6 sides.
Yeah, it's look honestly.
It's like, a hexagon, is it not?
Yeah, like I think we need to speak to. Well, if we ever spoke to Riot, we'd say a lot of things. But that would be somewhere on my list. Not that high, but it'd be up there, like maybe top 20.
Well, speaking of speaking, a nice little conversation happening between Z and Rover. World Ender going to get used. Does not matter. Fear beyond death. As it is just going to be a free kill over to Rover.
Mars Rover, top lane, having the time of their life, singing happy birthday to themselves because there's no one to hang out with up there. I actually really like that joke. I'm not going to lie. I need to write that down in the future. That feels like a finals joke. I need to keep that. Someone clip that for me so I can remind myself. But regardless, yeah, we're looking at the game now. We are starting to see how the shift has come from that top side. You're saying how much time and resource we're spending that top side, but look how much it's affected it. Rover getting all that extra help is now easily killing Z in the top side. And Aatrox, a pick that we were slightly worried about, I'd say, in draft, as it is one of those picks that has this high impact if doing well, is currently 0-4, has an Eclipse, doesn't have a lot going for it, as we do see the Rift Herald being popped in that mid lane. They will eventually take this tower down just through sheer numbers of grubblings. But Rover's now joined the fight. That Drake is now up. This Drake
Improvise,
sets us up
flash,
for...
death sentence, not going to be found. Zap going to go through. He's completely stunned up. The box isn't going to save him as Worm Jones finds the kill. Tough Daddy trying to find angle as well. There's going to be the encore. It hits 3 targets here as XG is just trying to find their way out. Worm Jones diving in on Rover, and he find the Blast Plant. He's going to get caught up, but Blast Planted over the wall goes Rover. Phoenix running away as Dorado Gaming looking really good right now for claiming this dragon.
Yeah, just an overplay coming through from Improvise, and what was a position for XG that they were perfectly fine in. They didn't need to force, and now that they have, we're going to see that feet go straight over the dog. They're going to be able to pick that one up nice and easy, and it gives them those extra boots. It gives them that little extra bit of scaling. I am seeing some pings come down from both sides here towards that bot side, towards that Atakan, which has just spawned. And this could be a cheeky play if they steal it or go for it.
They are currently in a great position to try and get that Atacon. We do see Karma also might be in a bad position with Tough Daddy here. Tough Daddy going to be trying to force Phoenix out, but there's going to be the death sentence. It hits a minion. Karma gets to live. She was between 3 of them, but they were so focused on Tough Daddy that Karma somehow gets to walk out of there alive. However, Atacon going to be the prize that XG looks to take.
Yeah, burning that flash from Azir was important, but that TP is still available. We're going to see the TP come through. We're going to see it back from Aatrox as they're also going to follow the TP, but maybe too little too late, as that's going to be a nice easy pickup. 2 TPs burned. Z makes it there, runs around, kind of decides what he wants to do. Do you rob the Azir's farm here? No, you're going to go into the tri-bush and you're going to pick yourself up a little bit of gold for your TP. This has to be the worst TP we've seen so far.
It's so rough. I feel like we've seen 2 really sad TPs from Z that like don't look that sad, but he just gets there and there's nothing. We have that top lane moment where he gets there and they just walk away. He shows up here right as Atacon is finishing. Just no successful TP is coming out from Z tonight.
Yeah, he's just... I think he's probably in his own head right now that he's so far behind that one team fight could shift it. One big moment. One... Like... If he gets the Darkened Blade sweet spot and he hits the right target, he makes himself a hero. He becomes the carry. And that's all it is. That's how quickly it can turn. But over forcing on TPs and trying to get to those fights without the rest of the team really wanting to go for it, they seem so hesitant into actually walking into that tri-bush, getting towards that Atakan, that it just maybe just stay topside, because they did recall from top to TP to bot on a recall where you got 2 ruby crystals. It wasn't exactly... I'm actually watching Rover right now because they're hiding in that bush just waiting for something to come up. And they've been so patient. And I've watched Azir walk back and forth. Okay, he finally leaves the bush. He's finally there. Okay, the ping goes out too. He was so patient with it. He let an entire wave nearly go. Oh, it's pretty sad.
It's okay. What's more important, free kill or entire wave?
Free kill every single time.
As Improvise looking for his free kill, the box going to come out. Worm Jones forced to use the Crescent Guard as both his teammates there to back him up in that fight. Not going to have to die today, but it was a good look from Improvise.
Yeah, and Improvise has been, I'd say 50-50 on these looks so far. There has been moments where Improvise has played too much, and then the rest of it, Improvise has been absolutely stellar and moving around the map and getting what is needed for his team on board. So I'm very happy to see how it's going to continue for Improvise in this series, because Tresh is one of those jack of all trade champions. I want to see maybe Improvise on a main of some sort, or something that's a lot more, I guess, unique in its characteristics. Tresh is kind of like I've got a little bit of everything. Let's see how it does. Like, I want to see something big. I want to see like a Nautilus or something, you know, a big hook champion, or Milio, like a real enchanter. Really show yourself. Blitzcrank's fine, yeah, but I just like seeing something with a lot more love in it. I think it's the best way to put it. I just feel like it's a very weak champion in its simplicity, that it just has a little bit of everything. I'm also wearing a Trash t-shirt, so I can't really say too much, because I love playing Trash. Like, let's be honest, I do love playing Trash.
I feel like simple is effective in Vanquisher. For some reason, I feel like the more simple stuff is, the better it tends to go. This game has not been the case for that, but we are seeing XG catch back up in that gold right now. They're really not that far behind, even if the kills would have you lead or would lead you to believe that there's a significantly bigger goal differential for Dog. And I feel like
Yeah,
Dog's comp is going to start falling apart now that they have that Oblivion Orb.
Oh yeah, everything changes upon that 800 goal expenditure, but
oh god, there's going to be the death sentence. The box comes out. There's going to be the flip through. Tough Daddy trying to get away. Is he going to find it? The subjugate going to finish him off. Worm Jones here to try to pull something back with Kibbles. They are looking on Blazing Cake, and the shielding is being done quite nicely as Worm Jones living forever, but so is Blazing Cake with that 1 HP. Karma is left in to die. Zin trying to find Improvise. He dies as he goes down. Karma going to be able to find Oriana. It's a 2-for-2 trade as Dog able to pull back quite a bit. Encore going to go through now. In between two turrets, there goes Seraphine. Phoenix going to be the next to go. Never mind, Phoenix still barely alive. And it's going to be Rover who takes it. Carden, with the excited, going to be able to find 2 more picks here. It's huge for XG as they find that ace with the dragon up. Multiple kills to Jinx. That is insane.
Yeah, well, she only got 1. She got 1 kill. You need to temper your expectations a little bit there, and I hope we do get to see a replay of that one if we can. But it felt so like one by one, Dog kept throwing people into this cluster that was XG, and it was great for them to pick up the kill on Oriana, but there were some little plays there made by Blazing Cake, like the perfect shielding time for an auto to make Kibbles walk a couple more steps forward, and then as soon as they turned back to go for it, it was going to be the death of Jin Zhao. So yeah, maybe we can see it here. So it starts off really well. Improvise sets this up really nicely. It's really well played. And they burn everything. They don't quite do enough, and Tough Daddy does eventually die to Subjugate. And then Worm Jones sets it up, separates Blazing Cake from the fight. Now, Flash gets burned. And now, as they keep running, Kibbles like, I need to finish this kill. Like, you're getting pulled back out of this one. It's very tough. Perfect shield timing. Forces Kibbles to walk further again. So Worm Jones dies in the back in that 1 versus 3. Now, this is where I was like, there's no reason for you to be here. Great Encore comes out for safety, but that's going to be a free reset for Jinx. Gets decent damage down onto the Aatrox. They're half, just above half. Then Kibbles flashes or walks in and just gives another free reset. It does go over the Rover in the end, but it just felt so messy from the side of Dog for something that we've seen them do so well before in team fights. They were never on the same page there.
No, it was a 1-by-1 walk fest, which it felt like what happened was we seen Tough get kind of caught out and everyone rushed to his defense, which it could have been good if everyone got there, but then we all split up in the fight on different targets at the end there. Like we see Karma on the chase, we see Zin on the chase, we see everyone on a chase to try and pull back more than they were going to get. And Painting and Z just get caught out at the end, and it's just rough. We see the 1-by-1, the ants go marching in, and they find just straight to their death. And now XG is looking like they're in a great position.
Yeah, they have a really good tempo right now. They have a lot more control on the map. They're finally getting through some of these towers. It's tough that he does dash away from that ever forward-facing Urgot as Blazing Cake is opting into a fight against his Aatrox. You need to
and there's gonna be the shockwave.
Don't make this the first one. Don't make it the first one, please.
Z trying to find it. He's gonna find the sweet spot, but Blazing Cake, 2-level advantage, is going to find the kill on Z.
Yeah, so that's now 0-6 top laner, and I want to go back to the point you made about as soon as they split up from targets, Kibbles is only strong as long as Karma or Seraphine are near them. So Worm Jones needs to be very careful when Karma isn't there. We saw them eventually pick up Improvise, but still a lot more time. See, this is when
Encore under turret.
Friends. You have friends.
He's going to try to find it. More friends coming, but it's a little bit too late. Subjugate going to go out, though. Worm Jones in a precarious position at the moment as he's going to get chomped on. Jinx going to find that kill. Death Sentence going to come on Tough Daddy, who's trying to come and help his team. Emperor's Divide finds Carden in a horrible position. They're going to be able to find Phoenix, but Carden's still going to be alive. Not enough damage on Seraphine. Not that traditional ADC damage coming out from Painting, and it's going to allow Carden to get away.
It is, but Kibble should be able to find Cartana here on this, but we have to look towards that bot side, as I believe the Oriana also did pick up another tower. They're also looking to finish off Z. On the other side, we just see the shockwave being used. It's a half-health Aatrox versus a more than full HP Oriana, as it is going to be another free wave picked up, and Z in a little bit more trouble. But these fights like Worm Jones, when he has that support and all that CC coming through from Seraphine, yeah, great, wonderful. You get big kills. But without Karma there, you kind of run out of steam very, very quickly, and you need a lot more. That Steric's now completed. You're going to have the extra little bit of shielding. We are not seeing any Serpent's Fangs coming out just yet. I would love to see one, but I just love when people build certain items for certain scenarios. I just love that little tweak people make in their builds, but we are seeing very, very strong builds come out. That Mortal Reminder has come out from the Jinx, so not going to go into that LDR, not going to go into that Ruin's Hurricane. They're going full burst really right now. With that IE Yuntal, I would like to see a Ruin's Hurricane because everything is so clumped together, and those extra rockets coming through, especially onto Karma and Seraphine, who are like always nearly on top of each other. It's just going to spell disaster for dogs. So hopefully it comes true soon. As Improvise, stop trying to steal a chicken.
Oh, he got away with it. It was his chicken.
He didn't
Sometimes
he put it on a leash.
Sometimes you poach the farmer's chickens. It works, you know. It's really fun when it happens to my sentinels. When they steal my red or blue sentinels, I want to cry.
Okay, well, I
Chickens,
think
it's
in
okay.
therapy for that one, buddy.
I was in caster therapy yesterday, so it's all good.
I heard I was brought up.
You were, as Death Sentence trying to bring up Worm Jones to his team in that mid lane. Not gonna find anything. We're seeing a huge fight right now for this Mountain Dragon. Dragon. There's gonna be the encore right on the Jinx. That's huge, but no one gonna have any follow-up damage. Worm Jones dashing in the Crescent Guard, keeping him alive for so long. Shockwave!
Oh.
What a shockwave! And all of Dorado game. That's the hero that comes along.
I love when your mic peaks so much we cannot hear a single word you're saying. It's just complete silence and just like feedback noise. It is wonderful to hear, but we do see a complete wipe. It's done. XG have managed to unlock that part of their comp that we spoke about so much. It's just get that Jinx reset, damage is done, and look, it's the end of the game. And Dog, they've lost game 1 in a series where a lot of it came down to just Rover. And I go a quick shout out to Lynxy, a player I was talking to very, very recently, an Urgot player. If you ever pick anything purple, just counter pick it with Urgot. Simple. Urgot beats purple.
Urgot beats purple. The greatest sentence I think I've ever heard. That was such a fast ending from a monumental shockwave.
There was not much color casting I could do in that situation. Honestly, I was just like, oh, it's actually over. It's actually over.
Yeah,
like, this is done.
I wasn't ready for the game to end off that. I thought we still had more to go.
Drinking, like, congratulating yourselves, like, yeah, I did really well there. I did really good.
Did really well.
We were peaking, and it didn't really.
I've turned off noise suppression.
Yeah, we'll figure out Romeo's mic issues as we always do every year here at Titan. But look, that game was it was a slow burner, and then it suddenly ramped up very, very quickly. But as soon as Kartana finished that third item and they grouped, it was a great flash coming through, and the Seraphine lined it up really well. But you saw there was no damage, there was no anything, there was no follow up, there was nothing they could do, and Azir can't just slide in there. I think their lack of damage and all their AP just really hurt them in this series.
It's like playing double AP bot and then picking an AP mid laner is never gonna go well unless you have a carry jungle. And we didn't have any consistent like AD damage that was heavy. Like Xin Zhao Aatrox is never gonna be your good only AD options. You need to have like a kindred jungle in a situation like this, or something along those lines.
Game 5, absolutely carry masterclass from our boy Valia. But we will be back in just a couple of moments as we get ready for game 2. So please do not go anywhere. We won't be long.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. We are getting ready for Draft 2. But before we do that, we need to go to the most important segment of any Titan cast, and that is KMK. The skins we have today.
It's the part where I get to flame everyone else's choices, because everyone's going to pick different than me. So, immediately, why are you killing Nico?
No. I don't accept any Nico skin.
Okay, so we're just going to disregard all of Romeo's choices from this.
No, Nico just feels wrong to say anything besides kill.
We've seen your jacket and we've seen your gloves. We know you have no taste. But let's continue on with some of the more amazing.
You
pictures.
like my
We do
jacket.
No one's ever said that. We do have Graves. EDG Graves is one of the nicest skins. It really does bring out the Graves compared to some of the other skins that don't really like hit the same. Like Pool Party and EDG are two of Graves' best skins. They're just aesthetically pleasing. It is absolutely gorgeous skin. And on the other side, Ocean Song Nidalee, I just don't like the color scheme of it. It just doesn't feel Nidalee. It doesn't bring that like jungle theme to it. Like if it was like green and had like floral patterns and stuff like that, it would feel a lot better, right? Is that just me, or?
I just don't like the idea of kissing Nidalee and then she becomes beast form and it's that weird orange green like mess of a creature. You know what I mean? Whereas like like this Grave skin specifically is just, how do I put this respectfully? Daddy.
Yeah, 100%. No, like that's perfectly fine. Like that's why Graves is getting married. Like it is just, that's how it goes. But
I don't understand the Nico.
Nico, like that skin just suits Nico. That clouded hair is just so pretty. The ball, everyone loves a good ball, let's be honest. Oriana mains rise up, gang. Cinders too. But look, it's a very pretty skin, and it really brings out like that culture behind it as well, with like even the designs in the background. All around it is a very, very pretty skin. I just don't like this theme that came with Nidalee. Like I was really hoping to see more of a jungle theme. It's like Nidalee into the ocean, cool, but like can it be like a kind of like jungle on the side of an ocean? Can it incorporate some of Nidalee's identity in it? And Ocean Song just really didn't hit for me. So as much as I like to sprout my opinions, we do have some people agreeing. Loki's on my side, at least for some of it. This one split more of us than I think any other.
I can't believe the killing of EDG Graves. That shit makes no sense to me. That shit's wild to me. I feel that's an objectively wrong choice.
The Golden loves women.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
The worst thing about it is this is also Men's Mental Health Month as well, and it's time to
like we're
look out for your
killing off
boys,
a
look out for
man
your
during
homies.
the crazy.
So it's a very important thing, and she's just out here gunning us like down in the street like we're dogs. So if anyone ever needs anyone to reach out to, me and Romeo are there for you, or maybe just me, Romeo.
No, whoa, I am
he's
too.
way too busy.
Whoa, don't. I'm not busy. I'm so chill.
I didn't want to presume.
I'm so chill.
Genuinely, anyone that is looking out for anyone just to speak to, just for a quick chat, any of us will be there for you. Just do reach out through the channels and give us a shout, because we do love everyone, male or female.
DM's always
Men's mental
open.
health, but the women too. We got you, ladies. But XG and DOGD, I used to really enjoy their names. So I used to be all like DOGG, like, you know, like Snoop Dogg, and then I realized I'm 30 years of age and I need to stop.
But also, DOGD just doesn't have the same ring as DOGG. I miss DOGG. Dorado Gaming Gamma was like, that was fun. And then XG, it's so sad they never have like a third letter. Teams that have like two letters, they're just different.
What does it stand for?
I used to know. Exalted Gaming.
Exalted starts with an E.
Nope, it's okay. You know what's horrible? They could have. They
No, clip that, please. Clip from you. Go. No, it's okay.
they could have been EXG, which is way cooler than XG. No.
100%. 100%. Just the way it's
Like-
okay. It's the campest you've ever sound, and it's so good that it's during Pride Month. So good. Like that's. I can't even concentrate on draft. My brain's gone. My brain's completely gone.
The
But
Super Goobers have locked in. How did she get in the draft? Talia got through. I feel like I also haven't seen Talia get through in a long time.
It's been meta for so long. I'm just more surprised that it's going to be Talia first coming through. That it's just not a champion at the same strength. It did get a decent sized nerf. Smolder for Tough Daddy, they're probably going to play that into it. Kasante should not be there.
What
This
is
just opens up to
happening?
Poppy. This is just Poppy. There has to be a Poppy for XG somewhere in this draft because Kasante dashes and Smolder has a dash that you can lock down with a flash E. That's a good choice. Now, I don't know where to go from here because you need to kind of lock in a solid bot side, and the current picks are like Zeri, Lucian, Varus, Civ. Okay, Zeri. So they need an enchanter to go with that. Sorry, I'm going to stop because I'm just completely just talking about.
It worked for me because I don't even know. Like these picks are so. The draft order right now just feels weird, right?
That's wrong. That champion shouldn't be here. We're not going to talk about Kog'Maw. No, like what I'm saying is that like because I've been playing in a couple more tournaments, that like I'm starting to draft more and more, so I'm starting to see a lot more things. The Smolder and Talia thing was actually in my last game where I played the Zeri, with the Talia into Smolder. So I see that immediately. Poppy always a great pick in these drafts because you see two dashes, you go, it's a free pick. Just take the Poppy. It's a blindable top. There's not a lot that counters it because most counters come with mobility. It's a common kind of theme. It's like, oh, it's something immobile. You pick dashes. Poppy is immobile but stops dashes. Simple enough. I am more worried about what they're going to go with Zeri because they don't have an enchanter idea. And with improvise his champion, because I looked it up, he plays a lot of Nautilus. It is his most played champion this season so far, and it's not a terrible pick. I don't understand what the hell Dog are doing. Why are you doing this?
Like last game, at least their comp, like it was not. I didn't like it, but it started making sense. This one, I don't understand anything that's going on. I don't understand having Kog'Maw and Smolder. We're throwing the Ivern for some reason, but we lack AP damage. We have Kasante getting countered. Whoa.
Yeah. If it's improvises Nautilus, they have to go Braum here. It's the only pick left to protect Kog'Maw. You cannot go for a Lulu. You cannot go for a Yuumi. You cannot lock that in.
But then they have no. They have no. Their AP is just Ivern. That's it.
Well, Smolder does true damage based on execute. Kog'Maw does mixed damage. It's not an insane problem when your two carries are mixed damage anyway. I know it's not incredible, but look at the tank. You're playing against a Poppy. You're never really going to kill a Poppy until you get like 4 items. So true damage from Smolder makes it semi-okay. Kog'Maw's mixed damage makes it kind of okay. The issue that I'm having with it is, where does your team fight come from? Where are you going to try and lock down the Zeri or stop the Echo getting to your backline?
I feel... Is having Smolder in a double ADC comp ever... Or like... I'm just having a hard...
Get those feelings out. Get the thoughts out. Talk to me. Talk to me. Caster therapy time.
Dorado Gaming's comp just feels wrong in every way. Like, I don't see anything good coming of this at all. Like, I don't know what we do. Like, XG, okay, we have Peel for Zeri. We have like a front line with our Poppy Nautilus. We have Talia flinging people. I mean, I just love an Echo pick because he's fun to watch. Dorado Gaming, we have
look, the best way to put this is their side lane pressure will be great with the Kasante, and Smolder will have to join fights with Ivern, so it's a 1-2-2. They're going to keep Ivern for Smolder, Kog'Maw for Braum. That's how they're going to work these things out. I just feel like there is a little bit of an issue in terms of when those objectives are starting. Talia can cut off an area. Echo has such great bursts that it's very stealable if they're not there first and already taking it. Zeri in team fights, absolutely incredible. Also, my voice is slightly going. No one get alarmed. I have been sick all week. This is my last day of sickness. I will power through this because I love Titan and I don't want to miss any more weeks. But I am cautiously optimistic for a 2-0 for XG, because every single time I say, oh my god, it'll be such an easy game, the draft is so good, Vanquisher says, no, we're not doing that, no. So I want to see Rover and Cartana really pop off this game. Similar to last game, I want them to take their time, build a second win condition. This is something we were talking about after Romeo.
Yes.
We spoke about this after in our lobby. We do talk about this a lot. By the way, in the back we do just talk about League because we're just massive nerds. But what I was saying about the game last game was no one built a second win condition. No one really focused hard on either a top side or bot side advantage. No one was like, we need to get all the Drakes. No one was saying we need to get all of the purples, which is Grubs, Rift into Baron. It didn't feel like any team ever focused a second win condition. So the game kind of spread out a lot more than we like. In this case, I want to see XG hard force on that neutral camps, get as many of those dragons and grubs as possible, and build themselves up into a death ball. Have all those bonuses going through, and just make sure that Smolder can't kill you. Pray for a Mountain Soul is another thing. Mountain Soul will work really well for you, it'll keep you alive. Because you pointed out the lack of AP. Now, what would you have put mid instead of Smolder into Talia, though? That's my biggest question. Harry?
Something AP?
Gwen, banned. Mel,
Syndra?
banned.
Syndra doesn't sound
Scream
horrible
that for
to me,
Syndra.
actually.
Syndra into Talia is terrible.
Is it really that bad?
You can
Okay, hear me out.
Silverino doesn't count golden.
If you want scaling, maybe an Asol or a Vel'Koz? A Vel'Koz could have been fun.
Meta-wise, if Vel'Koz isn't seen, Aurelion Sol's like a nemesis pick. It's like a super secret pick.
Yeah, but anything other than double ADC. Like, my problem isn't even just what they put mid. My problem is just I feel like their comp is not. Surely they don't. Like, not to be a dick, but surely they don't win this.
I think their biggest issue is Dog banned more mid laners than they should have been scared of. I think that's the biggest issue. Like, taking away the Ahri and the Hui and not leaving one of those options would have been probably better.
Even like a Vex? I would have been okay with a Vex here, maybe? I feel like
Vex?
something to round out the comp. I feel like you don't...
Why does Vex work? You explain it. Like, do you know why Vex is a good pick?
I'm pretty sure she's able to just outrange Blazing, and then in team fights, you have... Okay. The dashes, and they can fear.
That's why Vex is
Yes,
important.
there's that as well. And I mean, to be fair, they have a lot of dashes on the team. They have the Zeri, they have the Talia, they have the Echo dashes. There's I think technically Nautilus. Does that knockup count when he hooks? Does that count? Does that interaction count for the fear? Because I know it counts for the knockup with Poppy.
Yes, I think it does.
So like, I even think like in those regards, Vex is good in that. But also like when I look at Dorado's comp, right? You at least get a little bit more lockdown for that Kog'Maw or Smolder, whichever ADC you do decide to go for. And I feel like it rounds their comp out to have that AP damage. I do think, yes, they have the true damage and whatnot, but I still think you still want that AP threat, right? And like, you're saying the sideline pressure is going to be good. It will be, but Cassante playing into Poppy is going to be an issue for a long time. To me, Dorado Gaming's comp, especially not just as a comp. Yes, I know that Kog'Maw does % health magic damage, but like, I feel like Dorado Gaming as a comp, I feel like needs so much to go right for them to win, whereas XG just has to kind of play smoothly.
I'm looking at the like champ pools and everything as well, because I do have the search up here for the side of XG, and they have a decent mix. Blazing Cake doesn't play a ton of Talia. There is 7 games there, and Ziggs seems to be one of their favorites, and Hui is definitely up there as well. Ahri's the one that's confusing me why Ahri was banned, because it's not in their pool like at all. I don't see it in their top 10, and their lowest is a Fiddlesticks, so they're really scraping the barrel there if it comes to picks. So Ahri would have been decent. Now, like Talia, it is a tough matchup, but for the rest of the game, for just getting around the fight, it would have been a lot better, as we do have a very small spectator bug, so we're just going to try to pick up as much as we can here. So yeah, also I did talk about that, Kibbles. I did say about the percentage health magic damage. I did bring it up. So
We also have a pause.
I did speak about it, but no, I honestly don't mind Kibbles coming in and giving me abuse. Love it.
I think he was coming at
Absolutely
me
love
for flaming that they need an AP mid. But
it.
I
Okay,
do,
flaming
I
you,
still,
I completely agree.
I
Kibbles.
still
Idiot,
even
right?
think, like the CC from a proper mid laner is useful for Dorado. Like, just
You know what? Actually, I'm looking through all the champions, and you know what? Actually, I immediately saw him, and that would have been brilliant. Aurora.
What?
With her recent buffs, Aurora would have been very nice.
I don't know much
Mid
about
laner.
Aurora still.
Oh, well, Okay, yeah, I
but
forgot
it
that
sounds
they're-
happy in my head. And getting to dash everywhere. Although, doesn't Poppy just knock up and make
Okay,
cry?
what about Victor? Would you have been happier with Victor?
I like a Victor. I like a Victor here a lot.
You know what we should do? We should do a draft sometime. Me versus you. Okay, all right, my bad.
I don't feel like losing in draft. I know I won't win that.
If we ever do a
Like-
casters show match, 'cause I can't play obviously because I'm in Europe. So
You can draft for whatever team I'm on.
yeah, but if I don't pick Jin Zhao, you're gonna cry.
No, you can pick me like Volley Bear and Shyvana.
I actually really like Volibear, so we're going off tangent because we have a little bit of time for the game, so we're going off tangent. But I do really like Volibear as a flex pick if the top laner can play it.
Yes.
I think it's a really, really solid, flexible pick that is very good in the jungle. I just feel like you can't build the rest of the map around it. I don't think Volibear fits a bot side. I don't think it
Hear me
works
out.
with any bot lane.
Hear me out. We flex the Dr. Mundo between the jungle and the top.
No.
I'm a hardcore Mundo jungle.
No, I know it's strong, and I know it's really good, and I can hear the music in the back of my head already from Aloys. But what I'm saying is, I just feel like Mundo's in an unhealthy state. Genuinely, I feel like it's in an unhealthy state. And I know that all the Aloys believers are going to kill me for that one, but I just feel like it is right now. But as we do head into game 2 here, and thank God I sat down, because we have the usual pause that's going to come through. So this is where they paused. Tough Daddy, Blazing Cake, Phoenix Flare. I do like the Dark Harvest coming out from Phoenix Flare. I like that. The tempo from Zeri, that's perfectly fine. Tempo from Cog, that's fine. Fleet footwork on, yeah, everything seems standard. Nothing really speaking to me. In terms of interest, as it is going to be a 5-point spread, we're not going to see anything mad like we saw in game 1, unless improvise. Please don't.
Unless
I'm
they get
really
a
thought he
nice
was going
deep
for that.
ward and that's it.
It's the anti-Ivern tech. Need to be careful. Permanently.
Hey, right now
terrified.
we're just getting some super standard stuff after this pause. Really nothing. Just deep wards on the blue side. Ivern gonna do Ivern things and run through the entirety of the map immediately. Grab all of his friends. Although Echo and Improvise, wow, we're walking right in. There's no vision on them yet. Improvise walking right there. Oh, here comes Ivern realizing the mistake he just put himself in, forced to run away. Not going to be able to find the dredge line, but nevertheless, Phoenix going to be able to cap those Raptors.
I'm really curious to see how much health the Ivern has right now, as Ivern could be in a situation now where they don't have enough health to get through more than 2 camps on the enemy side jungle, and they're also going to get spotted on a ward as they attempt to pass, so Nautilus will be covering that one off, and Worm Jones might have realized Nautilus will be walking back. I just have to take one side of the jungle, which also begs the question of Echo gets a full top side clear on the enemy side, going to go into their own top side, get that full clear, and then pass back over and get a full other set, or is Worm Jones going to...
Surely Worm Jones tries, right? It looks like he's walking in. He's going to step over a ward, though. This could be extremely dangerous. Blazing Cakes could be on the rotation. We're seeing the bot lane on the rotation. He's immediately out. He sees the rotation. He's gone. He's in a rough spot.
Yeah, that is a very interesting adaptation that we're seeing from the... Oh, Echo actually recalled for a Dark Seal. I like that. Yeah, really, really good work coming through there from XG to shut down that Ivern early. And Worm Jones going from carry potential Jin Zhao to now struggling to finish one side of the jungle as Ivern and have lost everything on the other side. Yeah, I think XG have read this game really, really well. I'm over the moon with how they started this one.
Yeah, it's just going super well for a team that already feels like they have a really good comp into Dorado. Worm Jones might look for something here. We see Cartana and Improvise forced to go back to their tower, but Worm Jones just trying to find anything he can do right now. Not going to find much on that play. Takes a tower shot. We see Echo now coming around. Can he find the kill he wasn't able to finish earlier? There's no flash from Worm Jones. Phoenix going to go in. He finds the stun. Bye-bye, Worm Jones, as we're going to get Phoenix finding the first blood of the mat. Dredgeline going to go through too as well. Kibble's going to be forced to flash away. Phoenix staying on top. Another kill with that Dark Seal. Can he live to tell the tale? He can't. As it's going to be Kog'Maw trying to pick up some kill. Kartana, he has the barrier that he's pushed, but the double kill, it's going to be a triple. That's going to be Feats of Warfare, a triple kill on the Kog'Maw. What the hell is happening?
Yeah, you don't mess with the puppy. You never mess with the puppy. The puppy has decided to just completely obliterate the bot side, takes a triple kill for themselves. And that is going to be an... Oh, that is... I can feel that in my bones. I can feel it in my bones that this is going to be a tough game now for that bot side. Kartana maybe going a little bit too far forward, following up on Phoenix Flare. I think Phoenix Flare knew that they were going to die. There was also that exhaust coming through on the other side of things. It was... Look, it was a rough one. It was a rough one. I don't know what to say. It's just so doomed. Look at the item difference in the bot side.
It's okay. Sure, Kog'Maw's almost at first item 4 minutes into the game. It's fine, right? It's fine. Dredgeline going to come through onto Kibbles. Kibbles just walking away. Yeah, it did feel like definitely a bit of an overcommitment. And then we had that little thing where Improvise was kind of pulling back, but Kartana wanted to stay in. And maybe if they both commit together, it goes a little bit better. But I feel like you just leave Phoenix there, right? I mean, hindsight's 20/20, but I feel like you just leave Phoenix there.
Oh, 100%. They let Phoenix do what they're going to do. But the thing that's most interesting to me is like Kartana has like the basic dagger and the basic longsword, and then Kog'Maw has the recurve bow and the pickaxe. It's just straight upgrades across the board for the Kog'Maw. Like just better items straight off the bat, as the pro comps is saying that is 58.75%, and I'd hard agree with that. I would really think that Dog once again have went for something a little bit outlandish, strange, and new, while it is just a much better idea from XG, but Improvise.
Kibble's coming in with the Winter's Bite. He is going to get Dredgeline. Kartana trying to follow up, but they see Worm Jones coming through. Phoenix also here now. We could see a little bit of a rumble in his bot lane. Of course, that dragon is up, ready to be taken. I think Phoenix is looking to try and target it. Nobody really in a clear position right now to take objectives.
Yeah, I think it's very impressive for Ivern to be breaking back into this game. For all the start that Phoenix Flare did get in terms of stealing the first top side, they have really built themselves back into this one. As we do see, Worm Jones is still sitting in the bot side. It is great to see Ivern coming back in, but Echo still feels like one of those champions that it's do or die almost the whole time. And right now, Phoenix did do and then died. I feel like we need to see them do just a little bit more as Improvised now.
They're coming through.
Yeah.
The artillery striker Dogma coming through, but nothing happening of it. Meanwhile, top side, we did get a gank from Phoenix. He is still looking to finish the job. I don't think he's going to find it on Z, but he's looking for something here. He's going in. The Unstoppable going to go through. Phoenix, just not enough damage in his arsenal right now to take on the Cassandra.
But it's another Dark Harvest stack.
It is another Dark Harvest stack.
Gotta keep picking
a very
up those
handsome
stacks.
one.
Yeah.
What do you think is like a good? What's a good 10-minute Dark Harvest stack to have?
10.
You want to stack a minute in the Dark Harvest section?
Yeah, that's a good timing for it. Obviously, it's good to get multiple ones from one team fight from resetting it through kills, and that'll help build it up quite quickly. Same with like a Kindred mark, for example, where you get one and then you follow it straight into a camp as Worm Jones.
The smite going to come through. Worm Jones going to be able to walk away as Z comes through. Phoenix, though, going to be able to just kind of sit in the jungle still happy, still feeling good. We do see the Dark Seal picked up as well by Ivern. Dark Seal junglers. I love that. I feel like every AP champion all the time should have a Dark Seal.
I'm not sure if you remember, but I'm sure some of the players might remember that there used to be an AD version of Dark Seal.
Yeah, I actually do remember this because when that the new one. What was the new item that just got brought in that everyone was like, it's the new AD version of Dark Seal, and then it wasn't.
Oh no, there never really was one that was the equivalent. Like it used to be called Sword of the Occult.
Yeah.
So there was like there was like a trio of them. There was 3 different versions of them, and each one of them was genuinely impressive. in different ways, but sort of the occult was absolutely crazy. As we do see the first strike go over to DOG here, as I do get a little bit off topic, but it used to be like 5 bonus attack damage per stack. So it used to be like, oh hey, the Draven item, and they would get 100 bonus attack damage at full stacks.
Well, on the other side of the map, we have grubs being taken. Wait, how much damage, sorry?
At max stacks, a Draven would get, I think it's 20% bonus attack speed and 100 AD flat.
Yeah, I see why that's not in the game anymore.
Yeah, it was
kind of glad
crazy.
It's not in the game anymore. That sounds broken.
It was for a little while. It was.
And
very,
then you
very
die
fun.
and lose 100 AD, and then your life is doomed. Worm Jones might be able to caught on a difficult side of an invade here. Able to find the Raptors, but he's running for his life. Might have to go for the execute. He's looking for the back. That might be a greedy back here. He has to go for that execute, right? He's going to be running to that turret. Bye-bye, Worm Jones. Can Talia find something? She stops a little bit early. Doesn't commit to hunting down Worm Jones.
Does burn the ult as well, as we do see that the Smolderers continue to stack, continue to stay safe in that lane, and we don't see Blazing Cake being able to have any impact in stopping that Smolder from stacking right now as Z once again getting a little bit aggressive with those Entufo strikes, as it is going to be I love how I have Romeo up on my other screen so I can see Romeo at all times. As soon as I say a champion's ability, he immediately turns his head.
Listen, you don't have to call me out like that. I'm getting back into trying to call instead of yelling Poppy W.
It is.
I'm like, the more you talk, the more I study.
Something Bulwark, Damashing Bulwark or something is Poppy's, or is it Steadfast?
No, it's Steadfast Presence. It's one of the few abilities I know.
Yeah.
Every time we get into a game, I'm like, I read all the ult and the important abilities.
Yeah, it is. It is hard to learn all the abilities, and it is one of those things casters really have to do. Well, like player, you just like, oh, Poppy Q. I'm one of those people. I do know Entofo strikes because I do try to play Cassandra every now and then just to see how broken it actually is. But
oh, huge! There's a huge dive. There's gonna be the double stuns coming out. Bye, Z. The kill goes over to Rover. I don't hate the kill going to Rover.
No, it's actually better to go over to anyone that wants to stack a tier. But they're not necessarily a carry because that extra 300 gold is nearly the cost of the tier. So
we're gonna get a knock up here from Blazing Cakes. A little bit of a fight from him and Tough Daddy. Is he gonna be able to find the kill? Flash from Tough Daddy just in time. Mom gonna come in. We dodge Mom. We make sure that our mother-in-law does not keep screaming at us as Tough is gonna be able to escape.
Yeah, but
whoa.
They do break the tower immediately after one kill on that top side, which is massive for their tempo. Although they do have that like slight disadvantage that Drakes are probably better for Dog to be focusing right now. That Grubs getting that first tower to set themselves up nicely to help break that one open, as we do see Kog'Maw trying their very best on the other side as Zeri knows that trouble is afoot in that area. So they can't even step up to stop this one, and Zeri has been choked out, but let's have a look around the rest of the map. So at the moment, Rover did get that extra kill, will set themselves back to even in terms of what they want to do, because that tier does take away 400 gold. Phoenix player has been very active on the map, but Worm Jones has done incredibly well to break back into the game after what was a disastrous beginning. In the mid lane, Blazing Cake has not had as much of an impact in roams as Athalia would have wanted in these early stages, but they have been safe in the lane and haven't died, so that's always a bonus. While Tough Daddy is still working away on those stacks. Hopefully we can get a check in on the smolder stacks sometime soon. Zeri very far behind on this Kog'Maw. You can see one item plus a recurve to raw boots. It's a very, very tough position for Zeri to be in, especially when Zeri moments are hopefully getting closer. Bot side, who cares? Supports don't count.
Supports don't count. I think another thing that's interesting right now is the vision control. Both teams have very little denied the vision and so much aggressive vision in each other's quadrants. Oh, Blazing Cake right now on Tough Daddy. He's going to find that knockback, but Worm Jones and Kibble's here for the rescue. Kibble's looking to go in. He's going to find the Winter's Bite, but not going to be able to follow up on it as the 4v4 rages on in that mid lane. Meanwhile, Rover versus Painting right now. How do we feel about that matchup, bot?
Poppy into Kog'Maw. I think Kog'Maw actually has a decent time at it.
Coming in with the Weaver's Wall. No knock up going to be found. Painting just kind of sat there chill. Dredgeline gonna miss. Everything gonna miss from XG. Dogma, he's loving it. He's loving every second of this.
Yeah, the dog is doing pretty well. It is BMAW, which is a little bit sad. I would have liked to seen Puppy just for the dog jokes, but regardless, we are going to see that the rest of the team is going to go towards this Drake. I think that was their plan all along. Get some pressure on the map as Improvise is.
There's the knockup from the Keeper's Verdict, not knocking anyone away, trying to keep them around to find him kills. They get a fair bit of damage off. Kasante on the top side, taking the top turret. As this goes on, Smolder pushing that mid-wave. They have 5 around this dragon. There's really no way for Dorado Gaming to go into this. Smolder trying to come up, see if his team's going to want to play the fight, but it doesn't look like they're going to. Mom going to come through, but it's a Chemtech dragon claimed by XG.
Yeah, they get their first. It is Mountain. Oh, what a call. I said it in Champ Select. They want a Mountain. Oh, beautiful. Also, we're not going to see any clouds, which I hate. I hate cloud.
The best dragon in the game. What?
No, it's not the best. I did not say that. Hex
highest win rate.
Dragon in the game.
Highest win rate dragon is Cloud, no?
It doesn't matter what the highest win rate is. Cloud is boring.
They go fast. Zeri go fast.
Jump, go bird. Jump. Oh, wonderful. Hextech does the exact same thing in reverse. It just makes them slower, so you seem faster.
Yeah, I prefer to lock in my Hecarim, get my Cloud Soul, and just go brrr.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Do you know what's even better than that?
No.
As we see Rover just get
nothing.
Chunked. A better version of that is instead of trying an RNG Cloud, ask someone to play Karma or Zillion and get free zoomies.
But now do that with Cloud Drake, Cloud Soul.
You know what? Do you know what would be really fun if we could just have a mess around show match and I could have you play Hecarim and put a Karma top, Zillion mid, Sivir ADC. And just maybe a
and then
Uni
Cloud
as well.
Soul.
And then nothing but speed. We'll just have cocaine horse.
Dude, Sonic built a career off going fast. I think we found the key to winning. Lock in Hecarim and go fast. I believe that's feats for XG. That's boots for them,
yes,
no?
It is completed. That is feats completed for XG. They got first tower in that top side after a great Grubs take. They've got Rift Herald, Drake, and Grubs, so they will complete the feats. And for themselves, they will get those upgraded boots, as you can now see in that inventory, and hopefully crack mid lane now with that Rift Herald.
Yeah, it's... XG right now, tempo-wise, is looking really good. I mean, both teams are in a good position in terms of, scaling. Dorado Gaming's doing well. Both their ADCs, 0 deaths at the moment. I still just have a good feeling about XG's comp, though. I want to see what these team fights are going to look like when we get to them.
A lot of electricity and a lot of dragons sneezing and spitting in fights. That's what it's going to look like, because it's coming down to Zeri being able to have a Zeri moment versus Smolder being able to get those executes.
Oh, Rover in a rough spot. The Keeper's Verdict going to send Ivern. It's going to send Kog'Maw away as Ivern is stuck by himself with Kibbles, and Kibbles left by himself as he watches Worm Jones down. The TP coming to try to save some teammates. Z coming just to try and force them away, and it's going to be another one of those defensive TPs that we see out of Z.
It was just like an arcane moment, the way Echo flew in there to defeat Ivor, and it was absolutely perfect. And great work there coming from Rover, not even expending the flash, feeling so comfortable in the fact that if I get Kog'Maw away, I can just use my heroic charge, get towards my team, they'll protect me, they'll keep me safe, and just great work coming through from Rover there on that Poppy. And they're actually going to use this to open up the bot side instead of the mid, which I feel like LS would be screaming right now if he was watching this, because mid is so important. But Improvise...
Redline going to go through. Improvise may have gone a little bit too deep. He's using the Herald to get away, though. Herald goes down, and so does Improvise. It was almost so fun, but it wasn't fun enough. Z and Kibbles, though, taking a lot of damage. If Tough wasn't here, it may be fightable for XG. Meanwhile, Zeri going back to that mid-wave. It is just going to be an Improvise death here. It was so close. It was so close to glory.
I was very excited to see if he was going to pull it off, but they immediately turned on the Rift Herald and did take it down, forcing him to just stand there awkwardly, being like, hey guys, you didn't see that, and then immediately poof. But yeah, it seems like XG are maybe getting a little bit scrappy now in trying to force down some of these plays. It just feels like they might be going a little bit too far, but overall, I still think they're in a really good position. They do have a 1k goal lead. I know it's not massive, it's not big, but it is on the right people. It is on the Echo. It is on their tank. And that will be their possible best opportunities to win this game, is keeping that Poppy strong, getting that Echo, assassinating some of that backline as Smolder is scaling, is getting there. We've already seen that the Q is in stage 2 now. It is firing out those extra bolts out the back, so those stacks, once those team fights happen, will ramp up very, very quickly in clusters. But there is still that waiting stage for Smolder to finish that one off. And yeah, there's really good positioning from XG. They're setting themselves up nicely here for a Drake, getting that vision down, making sure they're set up. They do have the TP available for over, while Z does not. And I don't think we've spoken enough on this one, but Z, this is kind of Z's game to redeem themselves after the Aatrox game. And so far, they've stayed safe and they're up in CS, but we haven't seen that big play from them yet.
No, not at all. I think what really is going to be the question, how safe can Z keep Tough Daddy and Painting in these fights, and how much room he can give them, and because that Echo is going to be a bit scary spot. But speaking of not being safe and not having any room, Tough Daddy immediately going down, tries to get away from the lightning crash, but it's going to be the dredge line that just holds them in place. And now Mountain Drake, it's pretty clear. It's just XG's. And then, of course, right afterwards in that bot side is going to be the Atacon.
Yeah, spawning just now on the 20-minute mark. We do see Tornbound Atakan has revealed himself on the rift. I do wonder where Atakan comes from, because I know it comes from like the circle underneath and it spawns upward, but like Baron at least crawls into the pit from somewhere else. Dragon flies in from above.
Atacon comes from Hell.
I know, but is Hell bot lane?
Yes. It's also probably under the rift, but yeah, I would argue bot lane's Hell. Actually, it's a part of the jungle, and the jungle's Hell.
Oh, okay, yeah, junglers always say it's so bad in the jungle. No, like it's fine. But we do see Kibbles under a little bit of pressure there, does step back and does manage to get out of that one, as they are going to clear out more wards. They are looking to actually start this one up. We do have that TP available to Z now, and they do see that there is no one hitting that tower on the bot side, so they have a feeling that Z might have left. That one is Blazing Cake. Enough pressure on the bot side. Cartana, enough pressure in that mid lane. And this is free. They've set themselves up perfectly for this objective. Another win condition has been completed, and that extra burst of damage in those team fights might be enough.
They're deleting that Atacon quick. Small finally coming in. We might see a Mom to try to steal it, but I feel like Mom isn't gonna find anything to do. It is gonna be that Atacon going over to XG, and XG. I feel like the longer this game goes on, you'd think Dorado Gaming would be finding more and more. But XG, I feel like their macro control of this map has been really strong.
Yeah, they've had a decent running and moving around the map. They did lose that first early Drake, but it was a trade-off for Grubs. Their towers, they still need to work on that mid tower, as they don't have a decent push right now. Their range isn't incredible. Echo does do decent damage to it, but still needs a little bit more. But what I am more curious about than anything else is the way they've set themselves up. They have great backline access. That's all wonderful, but they still have a little bit of a lack.
Oh, Blazing Cake's gonna find Tough Daddy. Lots of damage coming through. Mom gonna miss. Z there to save Tough Daddy, but Blazing Cakes just showed how much damage happens if Tough is out of position.
Yeah, and it's a good call from Z to be there, but they are opening up a lot in that top side, as Phoenix Flare could just hover up towards that Poppy, and they could get a lot of damage down in this tower very fast, as Echo has that Lich Bane, is AP, and AP has always been known to do more damage, although they are hovering towards the top side themselves. Worm Jones, look at this. It's already down to half HP, and there's a big worry coming through there for me that they'll be able to get this one down to half, another wave, maybe finish that one off. And this is what I was going to say before the last little fight erupted. Their side lane pressure from Dog is not as strong, as Tough Daddy is susceptible to being killed by either of the solo laners.
Yeah, you're kind of in a terrifying position whenever you're alone, Tough Daddy. And that's one of the hard things about playing like in an AD mid, especially not an AD mid, but an ADC mid. Especially like Tristana at least has the jump away. Tough Daddy, I feel like a Smolder, it's so hard to make sure you're positioning properly when you're in those side lanes. And I think XG is such a good comp at finding him. Like a Poppy and a Talia is just going to seismic shove you around. We're going to put the steadfast presence and you're just gone. Oh, there's going to be the dredge line. Satchel Charge also goes deep. Carticon going to find Worm Jones immediately. There comes the TP from Z. Keeper's verdict straight out. We found 2 home runs right away from Rover. They're going to be able to come back, but the turret's now gone for them in that mid lane. It is a 5v4, but we're not opting to take it due to the HP bars. Blazing Cake, seeing if they can find maybe a Kibbles out of position. Nothing coming yet. Z looking to find Rover. Nothing. We're just getting the backs. Probably a mid turret going to fall as well for XG. It's going to be a hard defense. Carticon going to try to delete that wave. They find the wave at least. It's a lot of pacing right now, stepping back and forth.
Yeah, it's just this dance while there's no objectives on the map currently, where everyone's kind of just trying to poke and prod at little things. The mid tower does fall, which is the big plus for XG. They're now able to connect their side lanes to mid a lot easier once they have that pressure and push. So once that connection comes through, they're going to have a really good time in setting those up. But the other issue I'm having coming through for them is when it comes to an actual team fight, is Smolder stacked and ready now with that bonus damage? And does Echo have to focus down the Smolder first, ult, and then maybe try get back into the fight for Kog'Maw? They still have 2 targets, and Cortana is going to have a tough time getting through that Cassante, through the Braum shields, and even through the heals coming from Ivern and the shields. So they might need a little bit more to come from the likes of Blazing Cake in separating these fights and setting themselves up for a 1 carry at a time.
Dredge line, there's going to be the seismic shove forward. Kibble's taking a lot of damage. Mom going to go through it, only finds Blazing Cake. We have Phoenix on top of Z doing way more damage than I expected. Cortana trying to find something. There's going to be Phoenix deleting Z. The Weaver's Wall going to keep them away, but we have the stacking completed from Tough Daddy. Shutdown going to go over, though, to Kog'Maw as they find Blazing Cakes. We're now in that 4v4 scenario. The artillery strike still ready. Lightning Crash is down. The ultimates are on Dorado Gaming's side right now, minus the Keeper's Verdict can be a huge difference maker. He's going to go for it. Finds Tough Daddy. It's a 3v4. They're right on top of Painting. Painting nowhere to go. Cortana going to be able to find Painting. Are they going to be able to find Kibbles? Kibbles, it looks like they might be next. The rest of his team running away. Improvise, trying to say, stay back. I'll cover for us. But the Dredge line pieces up Tough Daddy. Improvise making that 1-for-1 trade. It's going to be the Mountain Dragon over to XG. Brilliantly played from all of XG in this 5v5.
Yeah, you can't really point out a real fault that they made in that one. Improvise maybe going a little bit too aggressive, but it was overall just great work coming from them. And this is what we talk about so much when it comes to XG in these moments, that they seem to be more clutch in getting these. And this is 2 Titans in Titan, pardon all the puns, but they are 2 big orgs, and dog, they have a lot to build up off of this one, especially considering how the standings are looking right now with these teams. XG is 1 and 2, dog is 1 and 2. Both of these teams really want to build themselves up to get into those top, because Faceless and Mint both currently trio, Tilt and Summit currently 2 and 1. And the rest of the games are being played tonight, but they want to be in that top 4. You want to be in those comfortable seats going in, and you can't be dropping games this early. You don't want to be in the bottom tiers with these teams, and it is pivotal that they get these wins. It is pivotal that they pick themselves up from this one and really start to push things down. As Talia's wall is perfect.
Huge Weaver's Wall coming through. We're going to see another Keeper's Verdict knocking up Worm Jones. Stun's going to go through. Worm Jones going to be the first to fall. It's Kibble's trying to sprint away. Mom going to come through now. Doesn't find anyone. Z going to go down next. They have both their ADCs up, but nothing to frontline them right now. Baron going to be the reward. Maybe they try to steal it. Maybe they just play for that turret. It looks like they're pinging just to play for the turret. Baron could be the end of this game. It depending how this Baron is used. Dorado Gaming has maybe 1 or more stand left in them, and if it goes wrong, that's going to be it for them.
Yeah, this looks like XG's games, and they've played it incredibly well. Like, there's no massive gold leads coming through. There's no massive, like, oh my god, they've completely demolished them, but it's all calm, controlled, really good League of Legends. Like, this is a game that if you're one of the other Vanquisher teams just tuning in, if one of the players, this is a game that you can watch and go, maybe we don't have to go absolutely crazy trying to force fights the whole time and just play a slow, controlled game in XG. we said in the last game that it was a slow enough tempo game, and we were like, oh, it's maybe they're just not getting enough from it. But we've seen it twice now that they play slow, they play control, they play it nice and easy, and it feels very LCK kind of style where you don't make too many mistakes, and eventually they will make a mistake and they capitalize very, very quickly on them. And it's refreshing to see from some of the Vanquisher games we see where it's like, oh, they've got 15 kills in 8 minutes.
Yeah, it's a lot slower than we're used to seeing. I mean, I feel like we had a lot of clown fiestas, I think, is what we were talking about on the therapy segment, where there's just a lot of kills early on, whereas these ones today have felt a lot slower and a lot more premeditated what we were trying to do. I mean, there were moments last game where we see like people just getting caught out wild, but like I feel like XG has done a great job at just having good macro. Like there hasn't been too many crazy impressive micro plays, but the macros just all been really good.
It has been very, very good. Last game I was a little bit worried with the header giving up certain, and it was kind of even overall as Cartana's still doing a little bit of that burst with the static, as you can see it ripping through minions as it refreshes. But yeah, it is really refreshing to see a team that can play this way, and I'm very happy to sit firmly in I think this will be a top 4 team coming out of this group, as we do have a very stacked Vanquisher this year around with the top 16 going through to playoffs. So this could be one of the teams that does it if they continue on this form. I know they haven't had the greatest run so far, but
a huge dredge line going to come in. The knockup's going right on the painting, but so much damage coming out as Improvise is going to go down. So much damage from that Smolder Kog'Maw combo. It's just, can they do that in every fight without going down? We see it's now a 4v5, but the Baron minion's going to piece up the top turret. There goes Z. It's a 4v4 now. Cartana caught, though, in a bit of a rough predicament here. Going to send Smolder away with the Keeper's Volt. There's going to go Worm Jones. It's now just the ADCs in this last stand right now for XG. Are they going to be able to keep this game alive?
Will they be able to keep it alive? I hope so. I hope so, because I want to see one more big team fight. I want to see the strength of that Smolder and Kog'Maw when they can play proper front to back and not just be defending in their own base. But 2 towers now taken in the base. The minions are going to crash into that bottom as well and do a little bit of damage. We do have that Drake spawning in the next 9 seconds. So it is going to look like Soul for XG as they're the first ones there, and they'll be able to set themselves up, as we have seen so much this game. I'm trying my hardest not to say time and time again, because every single caster does it and it drives me crazy.
Time and time again.
It is my most hated caster phrase. Out of all of them, time and time again is literally my
time and time again. The casters just keep saying time and time again.
Yeah. But we will see that Soul go over nice and easy for XG, and it is, yeah, it's such a clean game that you don't get to have as much fun as a play-by-play.
I kind of love it. I kind of love resting my voice after the last game. I feel like last game was quite a bit of fights and then a shocking ending, whereas this one, a lot more calculated, a lot more chill.
There were some fights that breathing. Nothing happened though. If you remember the mid fight, that was my favorite.
Oh yeah,
I love that one.
The one where everyone dodged everything and nothing happened, but it was just great on a micro level.
On a micro level, it was gorgeous to watch. Absolutely stunning. But we will see slow and meticulous as XG do, as they just keep sending waves of minions in, wait for a mistake, wait for someone to take a step too far forward. That rover flash could be massive. They could stick someone to a wall very quickly, and we're going to see some bushes come out from the Ivern. Redemption is in the wings. Ardent Sensor is also available for the 4-item Kog'Maw. But Talia, Weaver's Wall set up.
Weaver's Wall just knocking them all away. That should be a free inhib for XG. They've got it down already to half. It looks like it's going to fall very shortly. Not a whole lot Dorado Gaming can do here to stop it. It's just they can take a fight after. I'm curious to see if they're going to go in or if they're going to keep playing the defensive of League of Legends. We got Baron up in a minute. If they can find a winning fight, they can have priority. There's going to be the dredge line, though, going forward. It's going to immediately take down Kibbles. The 4v5 is now active. Tough Daddy and Painting need to get some damage off. The Living Artillery still available right now for Painting. That bottom turret going to fall pretty quickly here. There's no one here to defend it. Second inhib is going to be what's up for grabs here. We see dredge lines being shot from Improvise. No depth charge available to him. Was able to find that Braum earlier with it. Z coming in forward, taking down the waves. Now all of them walking to that top, and if they're able to get triple inhib here in a matter of 60 seconds.
Triple inhib, those minions will be
There's the dredge line. A huge dredge line right there on the Kog'Maw. Dogma is going to get annihilated immediately. Kartana fighting it. There goes Z. There goes the Ivern as well. Tough Daddy going to be the next to fall as he is able to find 2 back. But with 3 members up in just Kibbles, that's going to spell the series for XG as they're able to bring the record to 2-2. And Dorado Gaming is now 1-3.
Yeah, and XG build themselves back up from what was expected to be a little bit lower in the rankings. They were one of the things that might have been written off early, but we can see their strength coming through right now. They've solidified themselves as a slow-paced macro choke you out kind of style of game. As Romeo takes his glasses off, has a look at himself and makes sure he looks good as he's pulling off that drama style, like look in the mirror, keep looking at yourself from all the angles. But Romeo, it is very good to have you back. I'm glad to have you back. But it is surprising to see, and I am praying for their downfall. It is the downfall of Dorado right now, because they were a team that was always going to be in playoffs. It looks like right now Dorado are falling so far behind that they might not be able to make it if they really don't pick up these games. They've really slipped here.
It's I don't know if it's just the fact that Dorado Gaming is falling, or if it's the fact that Vanquisher has so many good teams. Even the list you were listing off earlier, teams like Summit, teams like XG, there are so many good teams this season in Vanquisher. It's why we're able to have 2 Vanquisher streams each week. It's insane to me the amount of presence each team has with their own styles. But I think one thing Dorado is having is they're trying to be so different for some reason with their comps and what they're going for. And like I've said the last 4 weeks, it seems to be the ease of execution of a comp that keeps winning time and time again.
Yeah, it is one of those things. I'm just looking at the standings across all the leagues.
Yeah.
It is one of those things that we say quite repeatedly on Vanquisher, because I am a fan of when I'm drafting anything. It's like I pick 4 standard, 1 strange. That's the way I like to draft. If someone has something that they have as a super niche pick that only they can play, I'm like, okay, that's fine. But the rest of the comp has to work together as a solid. So like say the Volibear I said earlier, if you wanted to flex the Volibear, I need my other 4 picks to be a solid group, and that Volibear to just be an added level of something. While it felt like some of the comps from Dorado, they had like an Ivern and a Smolder. That's a nice little enchanter mid AD. And then it was like Kog'Maw with no enchanter. So Ivern had 2 jobs to fill in terms of which ADC to help. Then the Ardent Sensor comes in, you go, that has to go for Kog'Maw, so you're not helping the Smolder. So there seemed to be a lot of mix matching in terms of where everyone was going. So yeah, I did like the Smolder pick. I felt like it needed all of the focus, and I think maybe just a normal ADC bot side that didn't need an enchanter, maybe just go for a Lucian, go for something a little bit more bully. But look,
or just put Smolder in the bot lane.
Yeah, no, but like we have to allow the mid laners to have some fun sometimes. No one likes playing mages every single game.
Right? No, but I think the whole thing was like the Cassante being picked so early that they were just able to find the Poppy to counter it too. Like even the draft order of this game just felt wrong. Just everything felt so weird in that draft for the game too.
Yeah, it felt the same kind of similar to game 1, where it felt like every single time something was picked by Dorado, there was an immediate answer in comfort coming through from the other side on XG. So yeah, look, the best thing to do is XG, they played an absolute storm in game 1 and 2. The Rover really showed up in that top side and absolutely dominated. Phoenix Flare with the Echo pick, a pick I haven't seen in a while. Interesting, played it really well. The invade at the start was absolutely gorgeous as well. Really put the Ivern behind early, and that bot lane, even though there was a disaster and a triple kill going over, they built themselves back, played as safe as they could, and improvise. MVP performance from me both games. That Thresh, Nautilus, both champions, absolutely brilliant work. As a support player myself, absolutely loved seeing that, and I say 100% the MVP has to go to improvise. Everyone else played well, but supports need some love sometimes.
And improvise, especially this game, to be able to find like I feel like the one thing that was going to break Dog this game every time was not being able to defend those two ADCs and
Mm.
improvise time and time again. Found the depth charges, found the dredge lines, and it was constantly finding a Kog'Maw or a Smolder. I think like also Dark Horse, Blazing played great both games as well. Blazing had some huge moments on both the Talia and Orianna. Especially this game on the
Yeah,
Talia, so many good seismic shoves, so many good Weaver's walls to cut off the team from the ADCs or the ADCs from the rest of the team. It was just so many little moments of like supportiveness from the mid laner to help actually find their big moments.
yeah, and there was some moments from the Oriana in game one that were just pretty and aesthetically pleasing.
Three
But
man useless
yeah, I wouldn't say
shockwave.
useless. It was pretty. It was pretty. Sometimes you just need aesthetics in life. But that is all from us here on the Titan Vanquisher broadcast one. I'm not sure how the story is for game two. So if you just want to go in and check on there, see if that one's still going, it might be. So please do give them some support, as I can see that they're still live. So there's something going on, but we will see you all very,
The
very soon
raid's coming.
for more. Also, don't forget to check out Tad this week. Have a good one.